cold. Yeah, I told her I turned off the fans. It's like, oh my God.
We get a whole bunch of people like,
Freezing. Freezing for a reason.
Wow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please rise in body and or spirit and sing hymn number 153 in the gray hymnal, Oh, I Woke Up This Morning. Good morning. I'm Jackie W., and I will be your worship associate for this service. This service is being broadcast live on YouTube and will be available as a recording on the UUFCC YouTube channel after the service. This is a good time to turn off your phones. For those of you joining us virtually, you may wish to have a chalice or candle available for our chalice lighting. We are using first names and last initials to protect our privacy. The theme for this month is resistance. Here in our fellowship, resistance is the act of standing up for justice, compassion, and equality in the face of injustice or oppression. It is a spiritual practice rooted in our shared values, calling us to challenge harmful systems and support the inherent worth and dignity of every person. As we gather, we honor those who have resisted before us and recommit ourselves to the ongoing work of creating a more just and loving world. Welcome to those who are watching us on YouTube, and welcome to all who are here in the fellowship. Each week we gather together, even as we are in many different places, and whether our sacred space be virtual or live. You are welcome here at UUFCC no matter who you are, your race, identity, no matter who you love, no matter where you came from, no matter your background or spiritual journey. We know you come here for different reasons: to find community, to seek your spiritual and personal truth, to ask questions, to nurture and be nurtured, to explore new ideas. We come from different places, different religions, different beliefs, and different backgrounds. We trust you will find something that you need here: comfort, connection, challenge, and love. And we hope you will find ways to help others. If you are new here, please stand or wave so we can say good morning to you. Anybody new? Okay. And now it's time to take a moment to greet someone sitting next to you or behind you. Wow. Congratulations. I have much gratitude to everyone who's contributed to making today's service happen, especially our greeters, and I want to say the decorating team does a marvelous job. Each month with a new thing we do, the team comes up and does a beautiful job. They're just great. Thank you, Laura, and your team. Let's see, those who work on keeping the grounds looking great, and our tech team, Tom and Doug, yay. Of course. Our behind-the-scenes folks, the office, Anna and Sandy, the worship associates, the board, and the cleaning folks. Those are taking turns caking for us by making coffee, goodies, and cleaning up after the service. Aheen and Trudy. And Trudy isn't here today, and we're wishing her well, and Betty. Now we'll have the prelude by Margaret, and I think she has something special. I don't know what it is, Margaret. Come tell me. Thank you, choir? For what? Thank choir.
Okay, this morning we're going to be doing a Buddhist chant in honor of the Buddhist March for Peace. And you're going to be singing it with us. It's Om Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Shanti. And so I will just demonstrate. Om Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Shanti, Om Shanti Shanti Om,
chalice lighting this morning is by Jamie Yendel, Joy and Power That Grow. We light this chalice for the quiet truths we carry and for the futures we are brave enough to write. In this circle, we honor the courage it takes to live openly, the softness that sustains us, and the joy and power that grow when we gather. As the chalice glows, may we feel steadiness rise in us. May we trust that our becoming, messy, radiant, unfolding, wholly belongs to us. Jackie, would you like to light the chalice? Please join me in reciting our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. Now we're going to have a story of all ages by Reverend Ann.
Will all the people who would like to come up and sit in front of me while I read the story? No. Okay. Well then, I'll do my best. The title of the book is The Yellow Star, The Legend of King Christian X of Denmark. How many of you know what a legend is? Yes, I have a hand there. What is it?
It's something that starts out as a story and it grows and grows and grows and become a legend that people tell it all the time.
Right. You know, it's about a real person who did real things, but then as the story is told over and over, it gets a little bigger. So not everything in this story actually happened, but I think it tells us something about resistance. Early in the year 1940, in the country of Denmark, there were only Danes. Tall Danes, short Danes, old Danes, silly Danes, cranky Danes, and even some great Danes. No matter how different they were from one another, they were all Danes. Every morning, their king rode alone and unarmed along the streets of Copenhagen, which is their capital city. Why? That's our King Christian, a person told his non-Danish visitor. Without a bodyguard? Asked the astonished guest. My friend, came the proud reply. A king so loved needs no bodyguard. We Danes would stand together in defense of our king. Now, when Crystal and I visited Denmark a couple of times, Queen Margaret still walked the streets of Copenhagen to do her shopping, be among her friends. There was no bodyguard, just one guy to carry your packages. If you are a queen, you don't have to carry your own packages. But it's true. They were perfectly safe among their people. Like a fierce storm, war was spreading across Europe, and even good King Christian was powerless to stop it. And so the Nazis invaded Denmark. And there's the swastika on top of the palace in Copenhagen. The flag stood for fear and war and hatred. The Danes watched and waited to see what their king would do. King Christian sent a Danish soldier to take the flag down. Upon discovering it was missing, a Nazi officer came to visit the king. Who took down the flag? I sent a soldier to remove it, replied the king. "Oh, you did you?" replied the officer. And the officer said they'd put the flag right back up. "Then tomorrow I will send another soldier to remove it," countered the king. "And I will have that man shot," threatened the Nazi. Leaning forward, his voice very level and calm, the king said, "Then be prepared to shoot the king. I will be that soldier." The Nazi flag was never flown from the castle again. Okay. Then there came an edict. This is where it turns into a legend. This never really happened. But there was an announcement made in Copenhagen. "Effective immediately, all Jews must sew a yellow star on their clothing, which must be visible at all times." And that happened all over Europe for Jewish people. Now, the king was concerned. This was pretty scary business. Without a yellow star to point them out, the Jews looked like any other Dane. Gentiles and Jews were all Danish subjects who worshiped God in different ways. But the king was concerned about what to do. So the legend tells us, in the middle of the night, he sent for his tailor to sew a yellow star on his clothing. And pretty soon, the Danish people knew what to do. They were all wearing yellow stars. Now, how do you pick out the Jews? And that's the story of the yellow star. At the beginning of the war, there were 7,500 Jews living in Denmark as Danish citizens. 7,000 were taken from the ports in Denmark across to Sweden. It's not a very long journey. I've made that journey from Copenhagen across to Sweden. Sometimes it was 10 or 12 at a time, or a small family. Like human beings everywhere, some of the Danish sailors charged these Jewish families a great deal of money, but most of it was done because they cared about their Jewish citizens. Of the almost 500 Jews deported to a concentration camp, the name of which I cannot pronounce, all but 51 survived, due in large part to the Danish government's intercession on their behalf. So, what if something like that happened in our country? Suddenly, someone took over and made Jews wear a yellow star, or Muslims wear the crest, something that identified those who would be mistreated. Who would tell me what they think they would do? She would get a star and a crest. And that's what all of us would like to think we would do, correct? Is there anybody who wouldn't do that? Even though it was very dangerous. So that's what it means to resist, to stand up for what you believe in, even if it's risky. Thank you very much for your attention to my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, not enjoyed, learned from. You take home something to think about.
Please rise in body and or spirit and sing hymn number 104 in the great hymnal, When Israel Was in Egypt's Land. The opening words this morning are by Allison Wohler. It is good to be together. With thankful hearts, we have come together this morning to celebrate the bounty of the day, to bask in the warmth of this community, to share with friends the tides of our lives, to entertain perennially our hopes for a better future. We join together this morning, as always, to resist injustice and inequality, wherever they may be found. Our hearts are touched by the human need we feel around us, whether far away or within reach of our land. We come here to be together because this is how we believe our lives are best lived. In questioning and in conversation, in compassion and in service, in gratitude and in joy, in companionship and in love. It's good to be together this morning. Come, let us worship together. Is there any entry in the Red Book, Lynn? No. Okay. We embrace the tradition of dropping stones in the bowl. The water symbolizes the community, and the stones represent your joy or sorrow. This is a time to briefly share that which is most sacred to you. There will be a time for announcements later in the service. Please be aware we're creating a permanent record of these moments on YouTube. So please come forward if you would like and drop a stone, either in silence or briefly aloud.
Good morning. My name is Laura. Yesterday, 8 other members of the fellowship and I spent 5 hours here talking about what we might be able to do for the fellowship, and I would like to thank the other board members.
My stone is dropped in Thanksgiving for the UU and for our principals, which today I would like to affirm. Yesterday I was in a service, and I won't say where it was, and there was a long litany of things that were read by the congregation and the leadership. A lot of it was creedal. A lot of it was nonsense made up by a bunch of men hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And I thought, what is this? And I was again reminded of how thankful I am that we don't live by certain creeds. We do have the guidance of the 7 principles, possibly the 8th. Who knows about that one? But I'm so thankful that I'm in a place where principles that apply to all humanity are emphasized, and not a bunch of gobbledygook made up by somebody who supposedly was inspired. So I'm so thankful for the UU.
Good morning, I'm Patrick E. I just want to share a joy. Yesterday evening, I attended here. Reverend Elaine Silver, thank you, had a full moon service, wolf moon service, and it was beautiful. Her wonderful voice, her wonderful song, and we created a little wolf pack. Some of them are here, yeah.
Today, at 12:51, the sun and the earth are the closest for the year. So be careful that we don't fall in.
This last stone represents unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts. May we hold these and each other in love and tenderness so that this fellowship may be a source of strength and comfort, courage and hope in the days and weeks ahead. Please join me for a moment of silence, and Margaret will play meditation music. It is my very, very, very great pleasure to have our speaker today, Reverend Ann. She is speaking about resistance and what we learned from World War II.
Does anyone recognize that theme music and the movie from which it comes? No? Think farther back than that. No. It comes from my very favorite war movie. If one can be said to have a favorite movie about death and destruction. It comes from The Bridge Too Far. Some people recognize it now, which dramatizes heavily the operation called Market Garden in World War II. This ill-conceived plan was developed by Field Marshal Montgomery of Great Britain to take a series of bridges leading to the bridge over the Rhine that would take Allied troops into the heart of German industrial activity, Wham! The war would be over and the boys would return by Christmas. Market referred to the airborne divisions that would be dropped along the way to the bridges. Garden refers to the ground troops that would rush up a road right behind them and take and hold everything along the way so they could get into Germany. It was a total disaster, taking untold thousands of lives, both military personnel and civilians caught in this conflict. Why is it my favorite movie then? Well, you know those guys who jump out of planes and depend on a canopy of silk to drop them safely to the earth? My father was one of those fools. When people asked him about his war service, he would say, "Well, I dropped into the war." And he was among the lucky ones. Of those who jumped into this ill-fated mission, many were shot literally out of the sky before they even reached the earth. An especially poignant, certainly fictional part of this movie involves a 14-year-old boy who, with his father, was part of the Dutch resistance. They gathered information from observations, the number of trucks and tanks that rolled by, what they saw. You see, Germany was beginning to lose this war. They were short of everything. So this information was very critical to the Allies. Now, this boy sees several tanks belonging to two divisions of Panzer tank brigades hidden somewhat in some trees in Arnhem, the last town that had to be taken. This information was passed on to the Allies, as well as reconnaissance pictures that showed the tanks just sitting there. But the command decided to ignore that. Later in the movie, this boy and his father are gathering up the dead in Arnhem. Massive, massive destruction. The boy is shot and killed. Resistance can be costly. In this movie and many others like it, and I've been watching some, the resistance movement throughout Europe played a critical part in defeating the Axis. Now, AI tells us that resistance in World War II was widespread, clandestine effort across occupied Europe by civilians and fighters to oppose Nazi and Axis rule through sabotage, intelligence gathering, propaganda, spying, guerrilla warfare, and helping fugitives. It ranged from publishing underground newspapers to assassinating collaborators and aiding downed U.S. and other allies' airmen. And it played a vital part in the morale of the resistance to the Axis. That's what resistance is in wartime. Other forms of resistance are like that demonstrated by King Christian and his example to his people. Another form is the Ten Boom family in Holland. Deeply religious, Father Ten Boom and his two daughters, Betsy and Corey, hosted Bible studies in their home. Corey even did one for the mentally challenged, and they provided help to anyone in need. Knowing what was required of them as human beings, they hid Jews by the thousands and put them on the way to some place where they would be at least somewhat safer. Finally, they were betrayed by an informer. They were sent to Ravensbrück concentration camp, where the father and Betsy died. Corey eventually was released and wrote a book about this experience. And she eventually came to America and shared her faith and her story with us here. Today, we are called to practice resistance in different, but no less important ways. Some are simple and straightforward. Some may even be dangerous. We may need to employ all of our resources to resist all that faces us in this modern world. And like the resistance in the war, we have no guarantee of success, but we must try. This isn't written down, so I'll try. Yesterday, Crystal and I were busy running errands and taking care of the house and all that stuff. We never watched the news yesterday. So I was literally jaw-dropped. I sat like that for several minutes when I heard about what happened in South America, that we captured and brought to America the president of that country and his wife. Now, they don't practice democracy the same way we do, but nevertheless, the man was the president of his country. I don't know what you each think of that action, but it horrified me. We've gone effectively to war with Venezuela without congressional action. The Congress people are at home in their districts. They weren't in Washington. So you see, there may be even another thing we have to resist: the actions of our own government that seem to some of us, maybe not everyone, as unfair, unjust, uncalled for, and very questionable. Think how you might want to respond to that. Now, for decades, we have known that American big business considers us nothing but consuming units. Our sole purpose is to buy more of everything, including things we didn't even know we needed. Yet, for the sake of our wallets, our planet, and even our souls, we need to resist. I know it is very hard to resist the emails or flyers encouraging us to buy a new car, new furniture, or new clothes. I get them every day, and I find it difficult to delete them without taking a peek at the offer I'm being given. Fortunately, I no longer even understand TV commercials, so they are easier to resist. Really, I don't. It's like, Crystal, what was that about? Today, more than ever in my lifetime, we are called to resist incivility. I was amazed during my brother's most recent hospitalization to see signs posted all over the hospital encouraging patients and their families to treat the staff courteously. And that belligerent behavior would not be tolerated. But often I do see people treating others with indifference, or worse, outright hostility. Maybe because they're different from the people who find joking about them or making ignorant comments. Road rage is a very real thing, which can result in injury or death. How can we control something that is very far out of control? We may not be able to stop such actions, but we can practice tolerance and deference on the roadways for our sake and for others. We can set an example that might influence others, at least a bit, in places of business and on the road. Did you ever offer someone behind you in the grocery line with maybe 3 items to go ahead of you? They're like shell-shocked. We just don't do those little kindnesses very much anymore. Now, on Friday, I ran into Laura Anderson in a local coffee shop, and she shared that she was meeting with a friend for coffee and conversation. I was there trying to find some punchy lines I could put in my sermon. I think she probably had a better time than I did. But she took the time to be person to person. Here are a few ideas to help us resist what's happening in our country and our world. Resist feeling inadequate if you don't have the newest or best whatever. You and what you have are enough. Counter the feeling you should always be doing something productive and have coffee with a friend. Don't let fear generate concerns about your health with all the drug commercials on television. I wonder what doctors think when people come in and say, well, I saw an ad that says what will help me is this drug. I don't know how doctors respond to that. Just have regular health checkups and trust the future. Spend time with your children or grandchildren, or communicate with them often, because people are ever so much more important than doing household chores. I know some of you can guess how I will end this sermon on a spiritual note. You're right, so here goes. Commit yourself at the beginning of this new year to think about what resistance means to you and ways you think resistance is a meaningful practice. Where do you most need to resist something this year? Practice your spiritual discipline daily. Enjoy your morning coffee by just looking out at the natural world, listening to the birds, watching the squirrels steal the bird seed, which is what I do some mornings. Meditate regularly in the style that best suits you. Create a few affirmations for this new year and work on them daily. Listen to your favorite music, draw or paint, take pictures in nature, or dance your heart out in the privacy of your own home, if that's comfortable. Focus on all that is good, beautiful, and honorable, and journey about what you most love. If you are a person of prayer, pray to the God or goddess of your understanding and visualize a more wonderful world. Blessed be.
Thank you, Reverend Ann. That was, wow, yes. In the tradition of Unitarian, is this on? Okay. In the tradition of Unitarian Universalists, congregations exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and our responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. We have several ways you can give. In the basket being passed around, with the Venmo app made to UUFCC offering, you can mail a check to the office. When the baskets are being passed, the choir will be singing Dona Nobis Pacem? Pacem. Close, okay. And everybody can sing along. It's in the Gray Hymnal 388. Thank you. You're going to do it? Not Laura. Okay, I get it. Thank you for support of this fellowship. Now it's time to highlight UUFCC's events and activities. The back of the order of service has this week's events. Also, the weekly updates that appear in your email has a broad variety of upcoming funds. Now, Joseph, would you like to come up?
Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to see you this morning. Just a couple of announcements. We have a fun game that we're engaging in, and it's a bingo game. And you might have seen this on the way, and you might have seen it last month. But it's an opportunity for you to get to know each other and to have cool experiences here at the fellowship. And basically, you just need to connect 5 in a row or diagonally to actually win the bingo game. So you can use any pen you like, And you can turn these into me. And we're going to collect these, let's see, January 18th, and we will give out prizes on January 25th. So I'm going to have lots of these available on the back table. You know, engage in these activities going forward. So, you know, you can sit by someone new in the fellowship. You can give 3 people honest compliments. That could be kind of interesting for you. And so engage in these activities going forward. The other announcement that I have is, Jory, would you raise your hand back there, Jory? So Jory is one of our newest members, and we normally, then there's Jory back there. So at some point during the day, have a chat with Jory. He's really a fun guy, very interesting, and we do have some gifts for him, so I'd like to welcome him as part of our fellowship. And if you have any questions about membership or the fellowship, questions about UU, please don't hesitate to ask me. So thank you.
All right.
Okay, as was said, the theme for this month is resistance that's rooted in love, not just anger, whether it be from personal demons or the outside world. On the screens behind me are slogans of witness and welcome, rising in an arc, with the most relevant in this room for us being this in front. Unitarian Universalists are renowned for their desire to question and explore. The sayings of depth, mystery, tradition, and contemplation along the north wall lean towards wisdom that invites silence as well as action. And the categories of the different pages there is the work beneath work, resisting certainty, domination, and despair, rooted, not reactive, slowness, silence, and presence, love, covenant, and moral imagination, grief, lament, and hope held together. In each category, there's 2 separate sayings to think about, or not. We'll be changing those out throughout the month. We invite you to give yourself the gift of some reflection time before or after the services. It's something to do. Thank you. That's from the decorating committee, which includes Cheryl and also Betty. So make sure and give them credit.
One last thing, we can't forget our parking lot sale coming up on the 31st of this month. This is for other people who haven't heard of our parking lot sale. It's a garage sale, but we don't have a garage, so this is it. So think of all the goodies you can bring that you want to contribute to this. And we need volunteers. So if you don't come to me as volunteers, guess who's going to come to you? We're going to need people to make signs. We're going to need people to move tables. This is all on the day, that kind of stuff, to set up, to clean up, all that kind of thing. And then we're going to need people who like to price things and figure out what goes where. We're going to try and sort out things and figure out what tables go where and that kind of thing. So if any of those ideas call to you, let me know. And if not, I'll come to you. Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Today, several people will be going to the detention center in the Everglades to witness. The carpool leaves here at 1:45 p.m. if you're interested. Okay. Everyone is invited to attend the free art reception this coming Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. You can share refreshments and view the artwork of Helen W. And Ellen is fantastic. Is that all mine? I think that's all mine. Really? All right, we got it. Okay, the closing words are from Rebecca Savage, Our Calling in the World. We've come to the end of our service, but not our calling in the world. We close our time together with the humble reminder that justice and equity are our spiritual practices to embrace each day, every day. We are blessed to be the embodiment of what is possible when justice and equity ground us in all that we do. May we go forth with the light and warmth of the chalice in our hearts until we are together again. Jackie, could you please come up and extinguish the chalice? Please join me in reciting the words in the order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May those ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts until we are together again. Okay, now please rise in body or spirit for hymn 169 in the gray hymnal, We Shall Overcome.
In my other life, I am a deacon in an Anglican community. And as the deacon, I get the final word. And it is not a suggestion, I remind people. It is a command. Go now in peace to love and serve what you value most highly. But you don't have to leave. Please join us for the potluck.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of people here.